Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave with your Monday to Friday update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. Thank you so much to everyone who joined me this morning for the FX Traders Edge event where I went over Euro analysis in huge depth. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope if you participated, you take advantage of those offers I made for you. Before I get into today's analysis, I want to remind everyone that we've started a Discord channel because you can't share charts and links with me here in YouTube comments. So if you ever have a chart or an idea to share, head on over to Discord. I will put an invite link right down below in the description box for everyone to join today. And I'll keep mentioning this so that we can build a little community there. Bitcoin yesterday had a really good strong upward movement. It closed above the previous swing high at 49,054. That was the 11th of January, and it got as high as just over 50,000. I expect we're finding resistance just a little bit below 51,800. I thought that was going to go a little bit higher today, but we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. Today, the high just under 50,400, so a bit short of that previous resistance area. I will expect pretty strong support about 48,000. I will expect, if we're going to see a pullback, for it to be relatively short-term in nature before we see price move up and away. So we tested resistance here, broke above, a little bit of an increase in energy, and now a little back test of support about 48,000 before we move up and away is most likely, I expect. Good to see a push in volume again yesterday for price moving higher. The volume profile for the short term is still bullish. On balance volume gave us a bullish signal on Sunday. It's making new highs with price, so this is a very bullish look for on balance volume. I went over this yesterday and I tweeted this on Sunday. ADX is giving a very strong bullish signal rising up from low levels. The ADX line is above 15 with a positive slope. The positive DX line is above the negative DX line. The ADX line has risen up from low levels and from below both DX lines. When it meets those two conditions and reaches 15 with a positive slope, it gives us the strongest signal possible. And because the positive DX line is on top, it tells us there is an upward trend in the earliest stage. This is an extremely bullish look for ADX. RSI is overbought, but this can get more extreme before we see a consolidation or pullback of any size. Money flow is overbought, but again, this can get quite extreme as well. It's only just overbought. And volatility is starting to return to the market. There is an increase in ATR, which is a measurement of volatility, as price moves higher. This is a bullish look. The Elliott Wave count for Ethereum expects that Ethereum is in a third wave at minuet, minute, minor, intermediate, primary, and cycle. This is an extremely bullish wave count for Ethereum. This base channel is going to be quite important in coming weeks. Draw it from this low here, 12th of October, to this low here, 23rd of January. Place a parallel copy on the high of the 9th of December here. The last time price found resistance, that initiated a pullback to support. The lower edge has provided support. Now price is moving up toward resistance. I expect the next time it gets there, if there is a pullback, it may be brief and shallow. It could just break on through after a breakthrough of resistance of this line. Look out potentially for a brief shallow pullback to test support before price moves up and away. My ballpark figures for these third waves for Ethereum are ballpark figures. I don't want to call them targets, and they're using the more extreme Fibonacci ratio of 11.09, which is reasonable for Ethereum. So minute 3 could reach 11.868, minor 3 could reach 13.325. When we have a new high beyond the end of minute 1 at 2717.2, then I will pull the invalidation point up to the start of minute 3 at 2153.46. I'm not quite prepared to do that yet. Looks like I might be doing it in a few days. Technicals on the daily for Ethereum, it's again finding a little bit of resistance, about 2,700. We might see a little pullback before it's able to break through. If it does that, look out potentially for a back test of support before it moves up and away to next resistance at 3,580. If any surprisingly deep pullbacks occur about here, I'll look for support about 2,400, but I expect it might not get down that low if we do see a larger pullback here. Volume was pushing price higher yesterday. Can't conclude about the current session. It's not incomplete. It's only 1:30 in the afternoon. Oh, actually, no, in New York it's 2:30. Sorry, I'm in a different time zone. Time confuses me sometimes. It's amazing I was actually on time today for that FX Traders Edge event. I almost forgot that I was on a different time zone to New York. I'm an hour behind. Yeah, that would have been bad if I'd missed it. On balance volume is at resistance. This might assist to halt a rise in price, but because this yellow resistance line has quite a steep slope, it doesn't have very good technical significance. It may be initiating a little back test of support before price and on balance volume together can then move up and away again. ADX still indicates there's a bullish trend in a very early stage. This is a very, very strong signal from ADX. Not the strongest. It would be stronger if the ADX line had reached a little bit more below 15 and come from really low levels, but it did come from below 15 and below both DX lines. It's now rising with a positive slope and it's above 15. The positive DX line is above the negative. ADX tells us there's an upward trend in a relatively early stage. RSI is again overbought, but only just. A long way to go before this gets as extreme as it can get. Money flow is approaching overbought, but there's a long way before it gets as extreme as it can get. And ATR is starting to show an increase. Finally, some volatility returning to Ethereum as well. 3 Elliott Wave counts for XRP. The third Elliott Wave count, which is my preference, sees a couple of second wave corrections here and XRP in the very early stages of a third wave at multiple degrees. If minor 2 continues further, it may not move beyond the start of 1 below 0.4456. A new high above 0.6236 would add confidence to this wave count. If that happens, I'll pull the invalidation point up to the low of 31st of January at 0.4883. First alternate expects intermediate 2 is incomplete for minor C to move below the end of A at 0.4456, not by much though. This wave count has a problem because this ending contracting diagonal for minor C would see quite a huge overshoot of the 1-3 trend line. In order for minus C to move below the end of A and avoid a truncation, that would give this ending contracting diagonal a rather strange look. So that's the biggest reason why I don't like this wave count. It's technically possible though, and I keep saying lower probability outcomes do sometimes occur, and when they do, they'll never be what you expected as most likely. Sometimes structures don't look perfect. Life doesn't look like a textbook. And XRP doesn't always have great looking Elliott Wave structures because it doesn't have the volume that Bitcoin has, which has better volume, better Elliott Wave structures. It's all about volume when you're doing Elliott Wave. You need to be doing Elliott Wave on a market with really good, strong volume. So like small property markets, probably not going to work. Gold, probably going to be the best. Bitcoin, really good. Indices, really good. Big volume, good looking Elliott Wave structures. Low volume, terrible. This is the first Elliott Wave count. It's my least preferred. I think it has the lowest probability. Technicals for XRP today and yesterday completing with bullish long lower wicks, finding resistance just a bit below 54-55 cents. That resistance area has been weakened though. Next time it gets up here a little bit higher yet, then it might have the strength to just move on through. The last signal from the moving averages was a death cross, so that is rather bearish. I'd want to see that negated by a golden cross before I really have good confidence that these lows are in place. But we do have this cluster of 6 bullish reversal patterns in these hammer candlesticks. Maybe this current session might also complete as a hammer, but it's not at lows, so it's not even in the context of a small pullback, so I wouldn't read it as a bullish reversal pattern. You've got to have something to reverse to read your candlestick as a reversal pattern. In the context of a little bit of sideways movement, that's not reversing anything, so I wouldn't consider that as a reversal pattern, but I would consider the bullish implications of the lower wick. I hope that makes sense. It's a bit complicated maybe, I don't know. Yesterday, volume pushing price higher for the short term, but overall prices are still essentially range bound, moving sideways and volume declining. XRP is lagging behind the other two. The last signal on balance volume gave though was bullish. We could have seen the follow through from that though now, and so we need to wait for a new range and then a new signal from on balance volume. ADX is still declining. The downward trend was indicated as extreme but not very extreme. There's a ways to go before ADX is going to tell us there's a potential trend change though. It's based on averages of the last 14 periods of data, so it could take at least a couple of weeks to turn around. RSI is neutral. It got close to oversold for the downward trend. Money flows neutral, also got somewhat close to oversold. And that's it from me today with your quick update today. Quick because I've just spent so much time with the FX Traders Edge event. That took a lot of preparation, hours and hours of preparation, including getting up very early this morning. So I'm a little bit tired from that. I hope you all enjoyed it, and don't forget to join the Discord community so we can build a little community there and share our charts and our ideas. It's going to be really important with this next bullish run in crypto to stay on top of things, and I think that's one way we can do that. Please don't ask me at this time to do any extra free analysis for you. The answer will always be the same. I will have another vote when I'm ready. I'm getting ready to move to the UK on the weekend, so that's a really big thing happening for me. I just don't have any extra time at the moment. Sorry, guys.